Hello everyone, Chaos here, and welcome to another old-school RuneScape video. Today, my Whisperer Guide. Released as a repeatable boss for Desert Treasure 2, the Whisperer is fought at the cathedral in the Lazar Undercity found beneath the ruins of Camdozel. It features mechanics involving the Shadow Realm, and with enough practice you can camp this boss without taking a single bit of damage. Other than Desert Treasure 2, you won't need anything else to comfortably farm this boss, but the amount of quests needed to even start this adventure wouldn't even fit on the screen. So, make sure to tackle the requirements bit by bit. The Whisperer is mainly fought with magic, and for entry levels and inventory we will go for level 78. Anything above 70 defense and HP will do the trick, and we're also looking at moderate agility since we will be running around quite a bit. For prayer, we're also good to go with 77. In order to kill the Whisperer slightly faster, we will use one particular item for which you need 80 range to wear. Bump your magic, HP, and prayer levels slightly higher for more damage and value out of your prayer potions, and to avoid death in case you make any mistakes. This is what I recommend to get started with the Whisperer. Be advised that you won't be doing a lot of damage, but as always we are showing an example kill with the minimum gear. With a trident, ward, Aaron's robes, and a cult necklace being your most important items, take an accursed scepter in your inventory along with a rune pouch with ice spells, teleports, prayer potions, food, and most importantly your blackstone fragment to go to the Shadow Realm. For this video I will show you an extra setup for you to upgrade when you start making more money. In order of importance, upgrade to a Sanguinesti staff, Tormented bracelet, Virtus robes, and a pair of Eternal boots. I do this because the best in slot setup coming up is miles above the recommended gear, so it's important to note where you can upgrade when possible. And speaking of best in slot, if you want to fight the Whisperer at peak performance, bring a Shadow and Ancestral, and in your inventory you will get yourself a Venator bow along with a Saturated heart, and the other important items we mentioned before like a rune pouch, prayer potions, and food. Now, how do we get there from best to worst? After using the Sirenic tablet on your Ring of Shadows, it will teleport you to the throne room in the Lazar Undercity. You can also teleport to the Mind Altar with the Archaeus Spellbook and run to the ruins of Camdozel. Or even the Lazar teleport for the Ice Mountain and then run to the ruins as well. You can use a bank inside to prepare for the fight. We start the important plugins with ground markers once again. I will talk about a particular method for the enraged phase that makes use of a set of tiles for you not to run around as much, and we will see them in the extra tips setup. NPC indicators is also important so you can see where the Whisperer is located. Because, as we will see later, if it stands next to you, it will deal a ridiculous amount of damage. So this plugin will help you keep your distance away from it. Okay, that was pretty simple. Let's now jump onto the mechanics. The basic attacks feature white and blue projectiles for which you have to pray ranged and mage respectively. After 3 attacks, tentacles will slam on the ground and you have to move away from the target tile. After you deal enough damage, it will do one of the following specials. You will know when to start when your Blackstone fragment is outlined, signaling that you should use it. Click on it to go to the Shadow Realm. When the Whisperer goes to the edge of the screen, pillars will be summoned all with their own health bars. Stay behind the pillar with the lowest amount of health, followed by one with more health, and then simply go to the remaining pillar. If you don't hide on time, you will be heavily damaged. The Whisperer can also go to the middle of the arena for 2 special attacks. The first one is called Lost Souls. In the Shadow Realm, you must kill a set of ghosts to avoid being damaged at the end, each with their own effect if you kill the entire group. If you kill the ones saying Vita, it will restore some HP. The ones saying Oratio will restore prayer, the ones saying Sanitas will restore sanity, and the ones saying Mors will deal 50 damage to the Whisperer. If you kill them all with your Venator bow, you will get all of these benefits and the Whisperer will take 75 damage at the end of the special. The third special is called Shadow Leeches, and the orbs will appear around the arena. In the Shadow Realm, you will see some of them being brighter than others, and you have to step on the light green orbs in order to finish the phase. If you step on the other ones, you will be damaged instead. After the special attacks are done, the Whisperer will entangle you for a few seconds, and it is heavily advised that you freeze her as well. If you don't do it, she will start walking up to you, and if you end up in melee range, she will deal 2 hits for massive damage. I've been hit for upwards of 62, so watch out for this one. The Whisperer will also change attack cycles. This time you will have to react to the projectiles. For example, after the first special, basic attacks can be ranged, maged, or after the second special, it could be ranged, mage, range. The final thing to note is that you lose sanity and prayer points faster when you are in the Shadow Realm, and whenever you take damage you also lose sanity. If your sanity reaches 0 at any point, teleport out immediately, otherwise you will die after a short duration. When you deplete the Whisperer's health bar, it will enter its enraged phase, recovering a small amount of health, and you will go to the Shadow Realm for the final stretch. Here, it's going to alternate attacks every 2 hits, and tentacles will rapidly spawn around the arena. You have to run around while switching prayers and dealing damage, and that will be the end of the fight, which is a lot easier said than done. So now that we know pretty much everything the Whisperer can do, let's put everything together for a live kill with the minimum gear, and we will check out all the mechanics we have learned so far. Okay, time to fight the Whisperer, and be advised that this one is going to be cut and or sped up for a little bit, because with this setup you are going to get pretty slow kills. The very first thing you'll see is that you are going to get knocked back. You may turn on Augury if you want, and it's gonna go 1, 2, 3, and as soon as you get the next hit, you're just gonna move away. Next one is the ranged attack. As you can see, the projectiles are just like that. Very easy so far. And yeah, this is going to be it basically for the first phase, I believe. There's nothing really to commentate, so I will see you for the very first special. Now, I will do something slightly different for this guide. The very first one, I am going to show you the entire thing inside the Shadow Realm, and then literally coming right up, I'm going to show you what to do in case you want to save up some prayer and if you want to do the things in the normal world. So this is what you would do in the Shadow Realm. Go to the, I would say the pillar with the most amount of health, and then after the Shadow Realm, you are going to freeze the Whisper, there we go. If it doesn't freeze, you have to freeze it right away, otherwise it's going to do a massive damage. In order not to lose as much prayer during the Pillar special, what you can do is go to the Shadow Realm, go back, and then learn where you can step in order not to get your ass handed to you. So we're going to go to this one, and then we're going to step here, and the final pillar is going to be this. And of course, after the next phase, I believe, you are going to see that the projectiles are going to come 1, 1, and then 2. Whatever it starts with, it's going to do another one of those hits, and then it will swap for the third attack. So this one is going to be range, magic, move away, and then it could also be magic, range. So let's see if he does it there. No, it's the same. So yeah, let's wait for the next special attack. As you can see, so if you do not have a Venator bow for the souls, go ahead and go to the Shadow Realm and target the ones that say Vita and like literally nothing else. You could use a blowpipe and target maybe the ones that have 3, you know, the 3. The ones that have 4 are going to be a little more difficult, but this is definitely the way to go if you don't really have like a lot of money for special attack weapons. For the final attack, if you have a Venator bow, go ahead and wear it right before entering the Shadow Realm, and this time you are going to attack every single ghost, but you're going to go for the ones at the end of the line, and also for these group of ghosts you can actually attack whichever. If you do it fast enough, which I didn't do right there, the Whisperer is going to take 75 damage, and the fight's just going to go much quicker. So that's it. Something that will start happening as well, as you can see, is that the tentacles are going to go in a plus formation. And for the next special attack, I am also going to show you how to do it with no problem as you are starting out. Go to the Shadow Realm and step on every single one of these light orbs. Otherwise, if you step on one of these, I'll show you, boom, you're going to take damage and your sanity is going to go down. As you can see, my prayer is going down heavily because if you're in the Shadow Realm, you will be drained of prayer, and that is definitely not good. So one more special and I will see you for the enriched phase with the setup, because it is definitely not the best. If you want to do the orb attack without losing so much prayer, what you can do is go to the Shadow Realm, look at the pattern, and then I can just do this. 1, 2, 3, and because they are going to be almost the same pattern all the time, this one will be this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are like 3 or 4 patterns that you can learn, and they're actually pretty easy. Okay, time to sweat. So as the Whisperer reaches 0 HP, what's going to happen is that it's going to start attacking with range, and then it's going to swap every 2 attacks. This setup, like I said before, is not going to provide a ton of damage, and you might stay here for quite a long time. So what I would recommend is that you may potentially want to upgrade your magic gear here first. Other weapons are of course going to be important, and I'm just going to like start moving so much that you could potentially get a little bit distracted, but as long as you have good clicks, the most important thing is to pray correctly. And as you move away from the tentacles, it is of course going to, I would say, not be as terrible. It's going to teach you a lot about movement, and there we go. What do we get? Hunka Ruby. Okay, that was a little convoluted. But, as always, here we have a few additional tips you can work towards in order to make this boss a walk in the park. The first and most important one is that, as we mentioned before, in order to avoid running around like a headless chicken during the enraged phase, you can mark tiles in a diamond shape for which you can avoid the tentacles. I'm still practicing this at the time of making this video, so here's a great example of how to execute this. In order to deal more damage during the fight, you could try bringing a volatile nightmare staff to make better use of your special attack weapon, since you can only do one accursed scepter special during the kill. Since you lose prayer points faster when you are in the Shadow Realm, you can see what pillars to stand behind and which orbs to step on at the beginning after you activate the Blackstone fragment, and go to the real world to execute the special attack without losing so much prayer. You can attack the Whisper when it's performing a special attack, but it will take around 66% reduced damage. When starting out, just focus on doing all of the specials correctly, and then you can damage it to get the fight over with quickly. For the orb special attacks, they will always be in a specific pattern. So with enough practice, you will also see a few orbs and know exactly where to go. Some feature an arrow formations and other squares, for example. And finally, for the Lost Souls, if you are using a Venator bow, make sure to attack souls at either end of the line. If you attack the ones in the middle, the arrow won't be able to bounce back to kill the remaining soul. And you might not have enough time to dispose of all of them for 75 extra damage. For the Awakened version of the Whisper, it will have increased stats, and this time its basic attacks will jump from 3 to 5. The tentacle formations also change, and you will have less room to maneuver around. When you take damage, more sanity will be depleted from your meter. In the Shadow Realm, you lose sanity quicker, and you also have changes to the special attacks. For the pillars, you will have to hide behind 5 instead of 3. When souls spawn, you will have to kill more of them, and for the leeches, you have less time to step on all of the light green orbs. Finally, it will have more health when entering the Enraged phase, and will alternate every single attack. When it comes to loot, all you need to know is that these bosses feature garbage loot, but can also drop valuable noted items that will be more than enough to cover your supplies. For special loot, we are looking at Virtuous Pieces and the Chromium Bars dropped from all the Desert Treasure 2 bosses, and more specifically for the Whisper, we are looking for the Bellator Vestige for the new Bellator Ring, if I'm even pronouncing that correctly, and the Siren Staff for the Soul Reaper Axe. And of course, you can't forget about the pet, Wisp. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching and for making it this far. A huge thank you to all my channel members. You boys and girls have no idea how much your support means to us, and I hope to continue delivering helpful content for you in the future. If you'd like to be a part of this list of legends, click the join button below to support this channel monetarily and to get a bunch of cool perks in the videos, in the live streams, and in the Discord. Stay tuned for the next video, as we will see how to easily dispose of Duke Succulus on Thursday, and showing you everything I have learned from it. Have an amazing day, have an amazing week, and I will see you then. Peace.